Chapter 2. Annette kept Lady Klausine's secret. I remained ignorant of my origins. I had no recollection of being told I was adopted, but I always knew I had been. This is the earliest story told of me by Lady Mother, as she preferred to be called. "We'd had you only a month. You were a determined walker for one so young." She recounted the saga so often, to spur me on, to explain my successes, to induce guilt when I failed, that I came to feel I remembered it. I was 14 months old. Lord Tove, not Lord Father, had been waiting on the king ever since the border war had stopped for winter. When he was free to travel, Father came home, and of course I had to meet him. Lady Mother, tall, stately, unbending, flanked me on my left. On my right, tassel swaying from her cap, trudged my nursemaid, sullen with a frown line already forming. My imagination supplied the details about Annette. I trundled along, once almost slipping on the rushes scattered across the floorboards, but catching myself, an important moment in Lady Mother's recital. As I careened with my baby gait, she murmured, "Prodigious. She will be a credit to us." The distance was a quarter mile. I accomplished it without falling. If I had fallen, I sometimes wondered, would she have found another child to adopt? The cold stone walls of the corridor were hung with linen, embroidered by Bamarre artisans that depicted lofty warriors in pitched battle. Slitted windows near the ceiling let in light enough. Lady Mother wouldn't allow lamps to be lit during the day. Enthusiasm carried me across the threshold of the study, where Father looked up from his account book to watch. Now that I had a clear destination, this handsome, smiling man, I held out my arms and toddled on. But halfway to him, I came down on my bottom. He laughed at my astonished face. After a moment, Lady Mother laughed too. I struggled to stand, accomplished the feat, and completed my journey. Lord Tove set me on his lap facing him, where I believe I felt instantly at ease. I expect he spoke baby talk to me, because I later saw him hold lengthy nonsense conversations with other castle babies. He probably let me explore his short brown beard, pull his long nose, and touch his silver brooch, which was stamped with the face of a snarling wolf. The image didn't trouble me, another happy sign to Lady Mother. Father, who had no idea I'd been born a Bamarre, didn't test me at every turn. He was pleased with me and with almost whatever I did. If he had been present more often, my childhood would have been happier. He was a nephew of our King Uriel, a son, a daughter, and an older nephew removed from the throne. Father commanded the Locti forces against our enemy, the Kingol. We wanted their silver mines, but we would take their entire kingdom if we could. The Locti were always bent on conquest. Lady Mother's version of my parentage presented me as the daughter of a knight who, along with his wife, had died in an outbreak of the pox. Their relatives considered me unlucky and wouldn't keep me. Lady Mother's maid heard of my plight from a cousin, a laundress. Out of respect for the grieving family, Lady Mother told one and all, she kept the identity of my birth family to herself. According to this account, Annette had been a servant in my parents' manor. Though I could hardly believe it, I was told I'd been very attached to her and had wailed when Lady Mother tried to separate us. Often when I disappointed Lady Mother, I pictured my dead parents. Such kind faces they had, with deep smile lines, sympathetic eyes, soft features. When Lady Mother scolded, or worse, fell silent, I called them up in my mind and wished they had lived. Annette was an occasional comfort, though she didn't mean to be. Lady Mother's reasons for disapproving of me meant nothing to her, which gave me a fresh way to think about whatever I'd done. At night, Annette recited poetry, which I loved. If she'd known I was awake, she probably would have been silent. My memory, especially for poems, was excellent. One poem seemed to be a favorite. She'd sit in the window alcove and say it in a voice that surprised me with its sweetness.